Yo, Pete. Ready to rock, dude? What's with the vacuum?
I'm just cleaning it up a little. This right here is Mark Zuckerberg. It's got kind of a nice flow, right? We got the gray with the stick and the handle, and it kind of goes into the bottom, but there's no LED. And even though the lip is black and it kind of matches, I was wondering if we change this to red, would it bring out these colors and kind of make it pop a little more? What do you think? Welcome to another episode of NFPete. I'm Pete, aka the Film Boss, and today, this video is gonna suck. Gonna suck for real, because we got Kevin, aka Altcointips, from the MultiVacuums. He enlightened me on why we need to stack our utility closet with as many of these multivacs as possible. And he also gave me some real good insight into MultiVac as a blockchain based on his experience from Phantom. So I'm looking forward because these are the only suckers that we allow in Jersey. You heard me? It's Jersey. First, a word from our sponsor.
Give a damn about it when I feel like it.
With a thriving ecosystem, the highly coveted Dirt token, now available on MTV Swap, limited edition collaborations, auctions, giveaways, and more, Multiworms continues to wiggle a trail for NFTs on the MultiVAC blockchain. When the vacuums first came out, I was like, what is this vacuum thing? Then I minted one, and it was like one of those drugs, like when you do one for the first time, and then all of a sudden you're checking out vacuums, and you're like, oh, I like that lip, you know, like it was bad, bro. It was bad. Are you excited about this sucky interview we're about to do?
Fuck yeah, man.
Kevin, tell us a little bit about the suckers on this MultiVacuums team.
There's three of us on the team. It's me, I kind of handle most of the marketing and kind of social community stuff. And then we have Ox13E. He's our anonymous dev behind the scenes, and Phantom Painter. He is the artist for the team.
When did this project first start sucking the life out of you?
We were part of this Discord group, and it's mostly just kind of trading crypto, stuff like that. Always talking about MultiVac in there, you know, MultiVac, MultiVacuums. It was kind of like, I feel like a lot of people have put the MultiVac and the MultiVacuums kind of together for a long time because just like the wording of it, maybe, but we kind of just like thought about it like this January, like last week of January, I think it was the 24th, and we registered the domain on the next day on the 25th. So, you know, you're an artist, you're a dev, you like to be a little bit more social. Let's get this going. So it's kind of what happened, and that's how it first started. Did you or someone on your team, did you guys have experience in other chains? Is that right? You guys came from the Phantom side? I had a project on Phantom, and I still do. It's still going strong, called Fantolanterns. Phantom is like a very well-established chain. Obviously, as Phantom Painter, you can tell that, you know, big Phantom fans and stuff like that. So we kind of came all over from Phantom over to MTV, but no one else was part of the NFT project before, other than me, of course.
Are you guys excited about the relay chain bridge being open up?
Yeah, for sure. We need this bridge to open up for, you know, the rest of the ecosystem, obviously, to start thriving. I mean, I think people understand how important of an aspect that is to get MultiVac going, but glad it's finally here.
So talk about the mint. You guys came out and it was a little slow, and then it started rocking, and then you guys, when it slowed down, you decided to close the mint. Your collection has a final size of 2,841 vacs. So talk more about that decision, and also what happens to the rest of the vacs that weren't minted. What's the plan going forward?
We had a mint price of 1,000 MTV, which some people went absolutely nuts on it. I went nuts on it too. I have a lot of vacuums. You know, once we started getting up into the, you know, 2000s and it was like slowing down and stuff, I think we kind of realized, you know, MTV is still, you know, it's like, it's not a micro cap, but it's pretty small. It's, you know, we're not at that stage of Phantom or AVAX or Solana's NFT thing. So we just wanted to make sure that we held like as much rarity in the project as possible. So by cutting off mint earlier, having a smaller collection size, we thought that, you know, the pricing per size of the collection was going to be really good. And that's why kind of we did it, because like right now we're, you know, still maintaining the floor price on NFPete. I think we're at 1,100 right now, above the mint price, which is great, because that's one of the hardest things for NFT is keeping the floor price, because, you know, there's people that they want to move it on to say like MTV Swap or Amaterasu, you know, These are things that are going on in the ecosystem. So that was kind of our reasoning behind it. And for that question about what happens to the rest of the vacs that were not minted, we had a discussion with the team, and we found that the best scenario would be the remaining vacs would be minted and burned, because we think that the minted supply still remain constant. We didn't think that flooding the market later on by minting them ourselves for giveaways was a really good idea, because then again, it would just kind of ruin the rarity in the floor that we've, kind of established like that. So by minting and burning the remaining collection, they're not going to be tradable. Obviously, we're essentially taking them out of circulation permanently.
I want to definitely thank you personally for that, because if they were still open, I might have been living in a utility closet myself with the amount of vacs that I might have been minting. So it definitely was a good thing for me. But it also must have been a good decision for you, because on NFTs, since being listed, you have over 163,000 MTV total volume traded and consistently rank among the top 10 projects on the weekly volume. Can you talk about choosing to work with the Otters on this venture?
Yeah, that was really easy. I mean, the Otters, I think they really stepped up for the whole MTV community. They realized the gap. They came in guns a-blazing, and the two-man dev team did that whole thing on the weekend. So you can imagine the amount of work that went into it was pretty nuts. So we're indebted to the Otters. I checked the NFT just before coming on here, and we're at 250K MTV now volume.
Wow. Yeah, I checked last night. That's great, man. Yeah, that was last night, those numbers. So that's awesome, man. And you guys are knocking out these partnerships. You had the Otters, you have the Multiworms I seen you did some stuff with. Can you talk more a little bit about these things, and especially gearing towards those animated NFTs? I love those things.
I've always been a big proponent. I did it on Fantolanterns as well, seeing where we can support each other in different ways. One of my favorite collaborators so far is definitely MTV Sharks, and that Papa, and I can't wait for his mint, and we'll be there to support him. But Otters have been great. Charles from Multiworms, he's done a lot of really good work for the ecosystem, and he's also shared some of the Multiworms source code for the marketplace on the back end for our devs. So
as someone who's been in two communities, are we in a good position here at MultiVac?
I think so. I've had my reservations about more or less the MTV team and kind of how stuff is communicated, but everything in the roadmap looks like everything that you need to tick off. It's just how fast are we going to get through that list is more of my concerns. But I think Relay Bridge coming in first, that's a massive thing. We get a better Explorer. That's a second thing. I truly think that MultiVac could, easily be a $1 billion market cap. I don't see why it wouldn't be able to at all. Yeah. So I think we're in a good place now, bright and early.
So you have a small, also 10 NFT animated contract that's now live on Asimov. This will be one of the most exclusive and rare NFT collections on MultiVac so far. And I know the artist is finishing up the last few, but can you talk about when you expect to release this and how that's going to work?
Yeah, so the contract's out now. You can see it on Asimov. I think they just did the 5th and 6th one last night. It's also been a journey for Painter, because he's never really done too much animation before. So this is his first kind of jump into the water, and I think he's doing an amazing job so far. And I just have to submit the things, and then it'll be its own separate collection on NFT.
Besides Little Bits, you were the first animated thing I had even seen before. And I remember I saw the Cranium one, and I saw the Multiworms one, and I was like, what is this? This is incredible. It was pretty cool. I was like, wow, that's awesome. Now, I know that you guys are huge, obviously big fans of NFT, but you're also building a little bit of a vacuum marketplace on your own site. Is that correct?
Yeah. So, pretty much similar to what the Worms are doing, just for vacuums on site. We're not trying to compete with NFT or anything. Those guys are the kings for the central marketplace. It's pretty crazy to think that something was coded and made that quickly and it doesn't have any problems. We're trying to set a date of, right around the end of the month.
And you also just began the League of Vacs, the MultiVacuums DAO. There's a sign-up form to join if you are a VAC holder. And obviously, Fantolanterns had a well-established DAO, so you're taking some of that into this project. What did you add from that experience to this that's going to drive this forward?
It's about giving, kind of voice back to the holders, of like having that open communication with like holders and, fans of the project is like very, very essential. Obviously, we're at a point on MTV where, we don't really have too much farming going on and like not, the DeFi. I'm hoping, by this summer, there's different, protocols that we could be, putting the DAO money into, farming it. But it's also, that's the great thing about a DAO is it's kind of up to the members of the DAO to make these decisions collectively. So,
And you also have a history, obviously, because Fandom's done well with booming NFT ecosystem. So you're going to have built the first MTV auction house. It's going to kick off on March 26th, and it's going to have a live auctioneer in the voice channel on Discord. For someone who's never experienced anything like this, how does this work?
It actually might even be changing a little bit up from that. I think I was actually looking at it on too small of a scope. So I think that what we're going to be doing is sort of a MultiVAC art collective, not just, the MultiVacuums having an auction house in the Discord. I think that there should be a central location on MultiVAC where all the different MTV NFT projects come together. They can host events in there. This is obviously where the live auction would be, in a Discord chat. And yeah, if you haven't been a part of a live auction, they're massive fun. Why just make it in the MultiVacs Discord when we can have a whole separate Discord just for MTV NFTs in general? So I'm, talking to other projects about potentially becoming founding members of that. And I think that it can be, a central location for all MTV NFTs, to find out about new projects releasing. I've seen this work on Phantom because like right now we have the MTV official Discord and it's like, we have one chat in there, but for how big the NFT scene is getting on MTV already, that there should be a central place. So I'm going to try to get that done with the help of, whatever teams want to hop on.
That's phenomenal, man. I'm excited. I always love to learn when people come from other chains who had experienced the growth before this one. This is kind of my first foray into the big growth here in this NFT space, and it's interesting to see what some of the other stuff that comes over. We talked about those exciting collabs you got coming. Is there anything else you wanted to share with us that's coming up for the vacuums that I haven't mentioned?
Obviously, this is still like, at least 2 months down the road, I'd say, but we will be making a second collection for sure. Obviously a different type of vacuum, have it a smaller mint, under 2,000 for sure. The goal is to have some sort of built-in utility to it that will rather give like reflections to the OG collection holders. So like, I want to make sure, and like, this is obviously something that we're going to have to figure out on the contract end, because it does get a little tricky, especially with that we also don't have a block explorer that's like very good yet. Like our number one goal is to have those OG members like actually benefit from holding their OG vacuums right now. I don't expect that to be happening until after the auction stuff kind of gets handled and our own marketplace and stuff like that, and kind of just see, where the MTV space is going to be going in the next couple of months. Because now that the bridge is opening, I'm pretty sure that like shit's about to go down.
Yeah.
I think it's going to get a lot more busy on the chain, which is great for everyone.
Speaking of which, as a person behind the scenes, I ask this to everybody. I'm sure you've seen it. What kind of advice can you give on someone when they're evaluating projects and they're looking into what's good?
I think the easiest thing is to invest in the team. If a team is really good on social media, they're active in their Discord every day, doing contests and stuff. I mean, that's a good sign that team is there to stay and not just trying to get their lick and get out.
That does make a lot of sense. That's a good perspective to have. So it sounds like things are gonna suck on a whole nother level going forward, man. And I'm excited about this year.
Yeah, it's gonna suck, man. I don't know what else to say.
Well, it was great having you on, man. I really appreciate it. Looking forward to what these animated collection especially. And yeah, and the rest of the DAO and the auction, I'm definitely going to be there for that. So can't wait. As a matter of fact, I will promise you that if there is any video, little walkthrough that needs to be made on how that's going to work that can help out people, I will. It's on me, man. I would love to do that for you. So
awesome.
Without a doubt, man. We'll get that rocking so everybody's fully prepared to bid all their money away and live in a utility closet for the rest of their life. So
yeah. Big shout out, Peter, to what you're doing for the chain too, because you're seeing the gaps in the ecosystem and you're bringing some stuff in. So big shout out, man.
I appreciate it, man. That means a lot. And I'm looking forward to the next step, man. Can't wait. As always, do your own damn research. Make sure you're comfortable with all the facts that you find out and all the decisions you make before you invest in any NFT project. Don't just listen to dumbasses like me, unless you like listening to dumbasses out there, and then hit the subscribe button below. Talk to you soon. Sucker. Spot right there. Yeah. I got you.
Dude, you were right. This one's a beauty. I didn't really see it till you pointed out the handle.
Right?
That's what sets it apart.
I'm thinking red or orange for the lip. That's what I can't decide.
That's tough.
Sucker.